Okay.
Go ahead.
You're looking. Say that again. You're looking.
I'm looking at.
I think he's narrating.
I'm looking at 5 bottles, and I don't know why I'm looking at 5 bottles.
Well, I mean,
why am
they're
I
here.
Well, yeah, but
You're
you've got
observant.
you've got them centered on the table. What are we doing? We got a piano. We've got bottles. What the hell's going on today?
From Indianapolis, Indiana, this is Truth It. The other day I was talking with some people about bourbon. I went on a little trip to Louisville.
Oh.
And
notice that he didn't call, text, or ask us if we wanted anything back from Louisville.
Interesting.
It's shocking.
Did you want something?
Bourbon? Yes. Buffalo Trace bourbon
it's
cream would have
interesting
been
that
nice.
you think he should.
So, all right. So I have 5 bottles of bourbon.
See that.
In this conversation that I had, we were talking about the whole idea of like what bourbons are worth and how they present their value and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So I decided I'd do a little, experiment with you folks today where we can, since you all know some things about bourbon, but maybe not as much as I might know as someone who
Not
has
even close.
Yeah. Well, I know that Aaron doesn't know anything close to what I know about bourbon, but I know that you're a little bit more regular of a purchaser.
I'm a little knowledgeable.
So
nowhere near your
So
level.
what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of these bourbons, and I'm going to have you tell me what you think it is worth.
Oh.
And you can base it on the label and any other clues that you get. Okay. So first,
real quick, by worth you mean the price tag.
Exactly.
Got
so
it. Okay.
So MSRP or approximate purchase
Maroni
price.
sticker.
What it would cost at Big Red Liquors, not a sponsor.
Exactly. And I can name countless brands that are not sponsors. I will start with the first bottle, which is Stag Junior. Okay. For the listener, Stag Junior has the antlers of perhaps a stag.
A stag.
And a serif font. And you'll have to just go ahead and Google it if you can't see our video, because we don't have video. I would like now these are all different prices, right? So and different, from a high range to a low range. I'm not going to give you more detail than that. So I would like, and we'll start with you, Aaron. I would like you to tell me what you think this retails at. Stag Junior.
Based on the aggressiveness, the machismo of the antlers, and it's got a label that has a nice valuable metal color to it. So I'm gonna say, just gut instinct says $39.99.
Okay.
$29.95.
Okay. All right. I should probably write those down.
Well, $39.29.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just go 40.
I'll stay with $29.95.
So you're saying
it's like I know exactly what it costs.
Okay. So yeah, just write those numbers down so we can keep track of them.
Yep.
All right. So the next one is Backbone Bourbon Uncut. So it does not have an age statement or anything like that on it. It is 113 proof. It is from a select batch. It is from batch 26. So it's interesting. It has sort of it almost looks like a label that you could print at your home computer.
It does. Looks really inexpensive.
Yeah.
Looks cheap. Is this out of all the bourbons, except for one, I think, are out of Kentucky, or are they all 5 out of Kentucky?
So that's a great question. This one, Backbone, is an Indiana bourbon.
That's what I thought.
Stag is Kentucky.
Yeah.
And we'll get into each of the others.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going the Backbone Bourbon, Indiana. I'm going to put that right at that $29 price point as well.
All right.
I'm going to go $39.99.
Okay. All right. So you're writing this down. You're writing this down. Okay. So the next one in line is Henry McKenna. It's aged 10 years. You have kind of a little bit of a gold flake into the design of the label. And the font is, basically an upgrade from Comic Sans.
How dare you?
But I do promise this is bottled in bond, so it's a good quality bourbon.
Your turn, Aaron.
It says it's certified.
It's been certified, by somebody.
So this is tough because, I see dates that age 10 years. I think the font and the embossment is impressive. I'm going to go with $39.99.
I'm going $49.99.
Okay. So
50
Michael's
bucks.
giving serious answers.
Yes.
All right. And so our next one
Ooh,
is
this
called
one's-
IW Harper. It is a 15-year bourbon. And it has like an etched bottle. It's like a cube-shaped etched glass bottle with a diamond label that says IW Harper, 15-year aged whiskey.
Michael, let me get this one.
Go right ahead. $39.99.
So here's what bothers me about it. It looks like it's repurposing a Di Serono bottle.
Okay.
15 years isn't nothing. I think they're trying to be fancy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going $39.99.
Okay. All right.
I'm going 70.
Okay. All right. Great guesses so far across
you.
the board. All right. And then our last one is Kings County Distillery Peated Bourbon.
Ugh.
Oh, that's too bad. That was the one
Okay.
I wanted.
Peated. Ugh.
And it is, I can tell you from experience, it is mildly peated. It
Oh.
tastes more smoky, like bonfire smoky than like
Than
your
peat
typical
moss.
peat moss.
Yeah.
Moldy moss.
Yeah, so it's not like Scotch.
Good.
Okay.
It's not like Scotch, but there is a smokiness to it. So this Kings County Distillery has a minimal label that is essentially produced on something similar to a typewriter. It's a very small label, and mostly you just see the bottle. It has a tin cap. What do you say, Aaron?
Well, that's the bottle I would want.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked me back into it as well with downplaying the peat. I like
Mhm.
the presentation. I like the like that really drew to me as much as the way the previous one repelled me.
What are you going with?
I have no idea what it's going to cost. So I'm going to go $39.99.
No, for
Mm.
God's
Okay.
sakes.
All right, Michael. what your
This is
guess
out
on
of Brooklyn, New York, huh?
That's right. You got that right.
Brooklyn, New York. I'm going. It's somewhere in that $50 to $60 price range. So $50.
Okay. All right. Aaron's writing this down as a reminder.
What was the very first one? 35?
39 Stags.
I said 39 on the first
I
one.
said 29.
29. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I got him.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Backbone is.
Now, was this closer without going over or just closest?
We're just looking at closest, really, just to kind of see how we judge things based on either being attempting at comedy or actually judging the
Packaging, labeling.
Or demonstrating ignorance?
cover. No, you did a great job at that.
I do.
Okay, so
Stags.
let's reveal. So the Stag Junior is $65.
Shut up.
So on the MSRP, I went for something that's kind of right in the middle of that range that they present as an
You'd
MSRP.
think for $69 they'd do a better job with the bottle.
You might think. You
I
might
would
think.
think. I
Okay,
would.
so Backbone Uncut is
Indiana.
$55.
Wow.
Henry McKenna, what
Yeah.
did we say for Henry? Let's go back really quick. For Stag Junior, what were our guesses?
Mine was $39.99. Michael's was $29. I win.
Okay.
Wow.
But and both of you were incredibly far off. The Backbone was 55. What were the guesses?
$39.99 and $29. I win.
Okay. And the next one is Henry McKenna. $65.
Oh,
$65.
Michael wins that one at $49.
Okay.
I buy cheap.
And IW Harper 15-year, $100.
Ooh, Michael, close.
Best bottle here, by the way. Hands down.
The Henry
Yeah.
McKenna.
No, the IW Harper's.
Really?
The
Yeah.
best looking bottle.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. It's designed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
on purpose.
And then well, you would think.
Right.
So the last one, Kings County Distillery, $65.
It looks like a Hoboken's bottle. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
something you would see someone in their trench coat as they pull it out.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
That's
I agree.
exactly what I was
I
imagining.
I thought you were.
So what you see happening here is that they're all basically what I went for is I went for bourbons that are all the same, roughly the same price.
Yeah.
And I know the price is based on what I see.
Mm.
But I also know that sometimes what you see is, comes from a range that they either favor the higher or the lower end based on the popularity of it and that kind of thing. So essentially, all of these are $60 bourbons except for the I.W.
Yeah.
Harper.
What's really fascinating is that as consumers, we try to align price with quality.
Hmm.
And you can't do people try to do that with wine, and you can't do that with wine,
Right.
just like you can't do it with bourbon.
Yeah.
But bourbon gets away with it a little bit more because of how they package it.
Yeah.
They really do. Smaller bottles, smaller volume, and the smart ones, it's ironic because the ones that are expensive, other than I.W. Harper, you could have a $60 bottle of bourbon that looks like a $29 bottle, but it's still fetching $69.
Exactly.
Marketing.
And the I.W. Harper really does have a bottle that is
Yeah.
aiming at luxury, right?
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
design, it
You're
was
wearing polo.
exactly. For the longest time, it was a $75
Yeah,
bottle,
yeah.
and then it just became elusive, and they bumped up that price.
Yeah, it almost has that Johnny Walker label
Yep.
to it, you know? Yeah,
Oh,
it's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker post promotion.
Yeah, Johnny Walker purple label.
Yeah.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
So you can judge a book by its cover. is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
Thanks
Sometimes.
for doing that little exercise
Sure.
with me. I want to introduce you to my guest today.
are we guessing his age too?
Um, he doesn't have an actual age statement. His name is Matt Soverns. Matt, I'm glad you came today.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Hi,
Matt.
Matt.
It took him a second to set up because he might do a little number later today. Matt is a musician. What are you playing anywhere today after this?
No, not today, thankfully.
Your
Yeah.
website says you are at 7.
Where at?
I'll
On the
check.
website.
I will say this: your LinkedIn page, not a lot there.
Oh, I'm a millennial, so
I know.
And,
I
and,
could
what?
tell.
and also, you might even think of him as a musician, and they don't really use
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. Tomorrow
yes, tomorrow.
you're appearing at 7:30 p.m.
That
Dueling
is
Pianos.
correct. Yes.
So by
Presented by
the time this comes out, it'll be too late. But tell us about where you're the dueling piano thing, because I know you do that semi regularly.
Yeah, it's at the Feinstein's at Hotel Carmichael in Carmel, downtown
Carmel.
Carmel.
Nice.
It's a gorgeous venue. I never actually thought I would ever play there until it happened, which is quite a few gigs here recently in the last year. This has been the year of gigs that I never thought I would get, that I somehow got.
Oh,
So
congratulations!
this year is your breakout year as far as like gigs that you were hoping to climb up to.
Well, in one respect, yes. In another respect, absolutely not.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
In the respect that I did succeed, it is in the cover music category. So I've been a cover musician professionally for about 11 years and almost 12. And so, over those years, I met all sorts of amazing people and saw all sorts of amazing shows and got to know different people's careers, and I never thought I would ascend to their levels, and now I'm doing those gigs, and it was just a pipe dream that all came true in that respect.
Cover music, like what type of cover music?
Freebird.
Yeah. So, but
Neil
yeah,
Diamond.
totally. Well, have you ever been to a dueling piano show or a
Yes.
piano bar? So, sing us a song. You're the piano man. So basically, people write down, or they, somehow submit a song request, by writing it on $100 bill or something.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and it's my job to be able to kind of, in a mentalist sort of way, predict what you're going to write down on that sheet and have that ready to go.
Yeah.
And so,
And a great repertoire, I assume. You can probably bang out anything if you had to.
yeah, I mean, at a certain point, yeah, like you need to know when that person comes up with a Nirvana, smells like Teen Spirit, that needs to be ready to go.
Yeah.
What about Neil Diamond, man? There's a movie coming out about Lightning and Thunder, the cover band. Are you familiar with this?
I
you
have
seen
heard
it?
of this
Have
band.
you-
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a real band or a real tribute band.
Yeah.
Husband and wife out of Milwaukee that became the cover for Neil Diamond back in the 80s.
Wow.
And there's a movie coming out about it right now. I think Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson are the two individuals who are actually
that's
singing.
right.
Are you
Yes,
familiar?
I have
Yeah,
seen the
yeah,
trailer
yeah.
for that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, long hair. He's got
Yes.
long hair in that
Like
one.
you.
I was gonna say there's a
Yeah.
resemblance. You
Yeah,
should
it's
play
just
on
like
it.
you.
I'm sorry, I may have missed it. You were very grateful and enthusiastic about the success you had, and that was in one respect.
Yeah,
And then there was a no in the other respect, and I feel like I didn't hear it if you said it.
He didn't say
I did
it.
not say it. I'm glad you asked. I have lots of thought trees in my head that are always constantly branching off, and I've just decided over my 20s, my late 20s, that I'm just gonna pick certain ones and go with them. Anyway, so
See where they
I like
go.
that.
yeah, just for in the interest of concision, and so the one that is not satisfied is the future, and that's where I'm planning on going in 2026 and beyond,
Yeah.
which is original music. It's the music that I've written, and so there are, the sky is the limit. Madison Square Garden.
What kind of music are you writing?
I write. I'm a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
I'm a singer-songwriter. Think of Billy Joel. Think of the great classics, Elton
Yeah.
John.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. So I kind of take after those writers. Carole King, and I like the '70s singer-songwriters, but I like modern songwriters too. I'm a big John Mayer fan. I like Rob Thomas. I even think people like Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran are fantastic.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
who do you get compared to when people are writing reviews about your stuff, or showing up at shows and saying, oh, he's kind of like a local version of this dude or guy or whatever?
Well, I think depending on the person, I'll get, obviously Billy Joel, because I really take after him. I've gotten Ben Folds,
Hell yeah.
I think that's a vibe that I'm definitely in. If I opened for Ben Folds, I don't think anybody would ask any questions. Be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That seems
Yeah,
right.
so right,
Yep.
I think if you go there, because oftentimes he just plays solo piano with
Yeah.
the mic, and there's no band, and that's kind of how I do most of my.
Have you
It's
seen
amazing.
Have you seen him live?
I have not, no, but I know that he will. Many of my friends have just been playing a gig in Nashville, and just Ben Folds just walks in.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, can I play a couple
Yeah.
songs? And he crushes it. He crushes it. And because he's one of us, I'm I'm a piano man,
Yeah.
just like Billy, and I feel very confident saying that.
So you're no longer a piano boy, but you're a piano man.
Yeah. Well,
I like it.
I would like to believe that I've matured.
Well, the crack in your voice is
Sorry,
telling.
it's
but,
Do you get hired by other bands to travel and play gigs, or do you not participate in that activity?
well, I wouldn't particularly say in the respect that maybe you're thinking.
Okay.
If I were to get hired by some sort of Nashville artist
Hmm.
who has tracks and I need to learn those tracks, no, I don't get hired in that circle. I just don't really have any contacts in that circle. Not that I wouldn't be able to do that, but I am very well integrated into the cover bands.
Yeah.
So constantly getting a
Yeah.
call for a wedding, or
Mhm.
I even did an Elton John tribute a couple of years back, and so stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a huge array of types of shows that I do on a
Yeah.
regular basis.
and a lot of that's just being in Indiana, right? Just that's the connections that you have.
Yeah, it's all word of mouth. So I
So-
never filled out an application for any of that.
So if there's
no
a
LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, it's all like, hey, we have a wedding, corporate event, private party.
how about a band that's playing at, I don't know, the Palladium in Carmel, and suddenly their pianist is out, sick,
He
flu,
breaks a
stomach
finger.
flu? Do you get a phone call on
Broke
that,
a
or do you stay
pinky.
away from that?
Well, I don't think they know who I am.
Got it.
That word of
Yet.
mouth isn't traveling fast enough.
Well,
Well,
we'll
it's-
after this.
It's traveling in very certain circles, and
Yeah.
the circles are these kind of mid-tier cover bands.
Yeah,
And
and we think your big break is being on Truthache. So
Oh yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
so honored.
yeah,
He's very
Well,
confident about
Here's
that.
to the
You should
future.
Yeah.
Let's have a glass of bourbon for that.
yeah, and you are welcome to have some.
Yes, you are.
Can I ask a question, if I may?
Let me
I
think
don't know.
about
Can
it.
you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Well,
think you can. Go ahead.
listen, you guys
Ask.
are doing
No.
a good job of leaving space today. I appreciate it. A cover band is such a wonderful experience for the audience because they get to hear all their great hits. They get to see a person doing the work and pumping it out. What's it like for you after 11 years to be getting all this adoration and enjoyment for other people's music while having this burning desire to play your own? How do you make that transition?
Well, are you asking two different questions there?
At least.
Yeah, because I do get a fair amount of joy and pleasure out of making people happy.
Yeah.
You know, like over the years, I fought and struggled with the cover shows and how to feel about them.
Mhm.
You know, after you've played Sweet Caroline about, every single
ba,
show,
Every time.
180 shows a year,
How would you like to be that original artist? And that's what you're known for.
Right.
Right.
Well,
And
I would love
nonstop.
that. I would
Well,
love
Yeah,
to be a
everyone's
one-hit
awesome.
wonder.
Everyone says that.
But they
then-
hate it.
But they hate it. Every
They're
one
like,
of them.
they're like, people don't appreciate all my other great songs.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's
right.
like they become essentially a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about all of this. I've thought about all of it about a million times through. So I
You
have
take it.
thoughts and opinions on all of that stuff.
But
But
part of one of those trees, huh?
yeah, absolutely.
I like
But
that.
to return to your question, I derive quite a bit of joy out of making people happy. Like just on Wednesday, I played one of my favorite shows of the year, which is a small party. There's probably only 30 people there. And it was for the Riley Children's Hospital nurses and surgeons.
Oh,
And they have a rough job. And I can tell, like they are really taxed all year long, especially at this time. You can only imagine what they have to deal with.
yeah.
And that I get the privilege to entertain them and give them a moment of joy in that, is extremely rewarding,
Oh, it's
right?
gotta be great.
Extremely rewarding, even though I'm playing Sweet Caroline
Yeah.
again,
So can
right?
Did you actually play it?
I
last night?
absolutely did,
Yeah.
100%, and I
Good. Of
course
put
you did.
all of my heart into it.
I bet, yeah.
Absolutely, because they deserve it, and they are awesome, and I do it with pride.
A lot of our listeners are from there too. A lot of the surgeons listen
Yeah.
to the show.
Good, yeah. Well, they want me to come in and play for the kids, so that'll be
God.
even better. So
Yeah.
So Matt, can you make any money at this shit, or are you a struggling, surviving artist? Or are you actually making coin and living your dream? Where are you in the spectrum, business wise?
Great question.
that is a great question.
I
I'm
know it
right
is.
at the cusp
Of what?
of a reasonable living.
Okay.
This year has been a roller coaster. Like I said, getting to play some of the gigs that I never thought I would play.
Yeah.
And some of them pay extremely well, and some of them don't pay very much at all.
Do you mind sharing what you mean by extremely well and not much at all? Like just some rough numbers. They don't have to be.
Well, I won't
exact.
specify, but I'd say the lowest paying gig that I did this year, I did for free at a nursing home.
That is low.
Mhm.
you
Free.
know, or it was also a fundraiser,
Good
like
for
to
you.
help a young girl,
Yeah, that's nice.
raise money to go on a
So-
trip.
So
And then the top end was $1,200
okay.
per show.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
tell me 12,000.
$1,200.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So actually, eventually, I do want to answer Aaron's
Yes.
second question that he asked me. But I do appreciate that question.
That was a good question, and we don't remember Aaron's second question.
He
And-
has,
and
he's
by the
got
way,
questions
who's
within
Aaron?
questions. Is Aaron with us? Aaron's with us.
Is
He's
Aaron
right
in-
here.
Is Aaron in the room with us right now?
Yeah, Can somebody tell me where Aaron is?
Not
I don't
Do
know.
you
3
do you
times.
remember his second question?
I bet he does.
Yes, it was about where I want to go, essentially.
Yeah. How do you make that transition? To
How do I
your
make the
music?
transition? So this is a very tough question, really, because when you're selling, right? This is sales. I'm in sales because anyone who is in the gig economy is constantly auditioning, constantly selling. You're always auditioning, That's
Yeah.
what my theater teacher told
And
us.
you're not performing unless there's other people there.
Right. So when I start thinking about sales and marketing and what I do, yeah, totally. Pick for me, my dude. We're pouring some bourbon here. Some $55 bourbon.
It's a
$39.99.
$39.99.
No, he wants the expensive stuff for you.
Yeah, thank you,
Not
my dude.
the expensive, but one of.
Let's do this.
He's got you covered.
So let me get to the point. So
Yeah, holy shit. You're selling slow. Let's get to it,
I'm
man.
not a great salesman.
I can tell. Go.
So the covers sell themselves, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't need to sell those.
Yeah, they're known.
I will
right?
show up, play all your favorite songs, and it's my job to play the most awesome songs and know exactly what song to play to you at this moment to make you jitterbug, and get going.
So you're telepathic.
Right.
No,
This
he can
environment.
read a room is what
Right.
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Telepathic.
it's, if we're in a Feinstein's, it's Frank Sinatra.
Right.
But that's only if the crowd's over 45, 55, 55 plus.
Ageism.
over 45.
I would, a lot of people like the
Is
Frank. But
is over 45 like 45 in a day? I'm just trying to figure out where I land.
Well, here, we're going to do this right now. If you saw Daniel in a room, what would you play? And then if you saw Aaron and myself, what
That's
would you
a great-
play? I'm curious.
That's a great question.
well,
Start with Daniel.
well, it's a tough question because, first of all, I have to play for 3 hours. So
But
I
if
can't
you-
just play
But
Frank
if you
Sinatra
just saw him.
if
and
he's
you're-
the only person in the room.
people
A
like
bunch of-
him.
a
Because
bunch of
there's lots of
me's.
people in
Well,
every room.
And
A
you're
bunch of people
watching
like
how
him.
people are responding, and that's how you're getting.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
vibe.
A
Like,
bunch of
just-
people like him. You walked in a room, you see a bunch
Exactly.
of people like him. What's your vibe for Daniel?
A bunch of
This
people
guy's
like
a
him.
Cliche.
Yeah.
I would go what I do is I experiment. So I start with late 80s, probably Tears for
Casting
Fears.
a line.
Cast the line, see
Tears
what
for
happens.
Mhm.
We go Tears for Fears.
Alright.
We go, and it depends on, is this a corporate event?
Yeah.
Because at corporate events, nobody wants to dance.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the boss is around. HR is here.
your ambiance.
But if this is what's the club? Is this like if this is his birthday party and he's the birthday boy, then I'm playing
It's a
whatever
bus-
he
it's a
likes.
bus-
I'm
all
gonna
three of
find out
these-
what year he graduated high
All
school.
three of these scenarios will be business venue. You can presume boss or no boss, but business venue, right? So you see a bunch of Daniels at a business venue that you've been hired to perform. You're going to lead with Tears for Fears, 80s rock. it
One
sounds like.
question: open bar or cash?
Yeah, that's a good question
The,
too.
the more qualifiers we add, the
My
more
God.
it ruins
this
this.
is part
Yeah,
of the
I know.
context,
No, actually,
is it
this
not?
is better because one tiny detail can change everything.
There's booze. I don't know who's paying for it.
Yeah,
So
like
what-
one tiny detail can change absolutely
So
everything.
we still haven't got. So hold on. I've got 80s Tears for Fears. You see a bunch of Aarons in the room. What are you playing?
I would say.
That was beautiful. Nice job, Matt.
I would say start with. I always start with the classics, Brown Eyed Girl and see where we are.
Well, who doesn't like
I
that?
almost
Yeah.
always start with Brown Eyed Girl and just see what's going on.
Okay, so
like
Daniel's Tears for Fears,
Mhm.
Aaron's Brown Eyed Girl.
yeah,
That's what you start with. A bunch of me in the room. What do you start with?
Ooh, that's-
Brown Eyed Girl again.
Oh,
Because I'm
nice.
just gonna. I need to
You're just
see
gonna
what
feel it out?
I need to see where you
Yeah.
are. Are
Got
you
it.
happy? Are you
Mm.
pissed? Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
quiet?
yeah.
Are you loud? Are you
Yeah. Yeah.
are you
Fair. That's fair.
loquacious? Are you
Morose.
are
He,
you
he sometimes gets loquacious. I'm not gonna
Loquacious.
lie.
yeah,
This
like
is-
are you
yeah.
talking or are you just is everybody staring at me like this is a
Oh.
Broadway performance? If that's the case, then I need to approach this differently.
yeah.
So yeah, I would say, honestly, probably for all three of you, it starts with Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eyed
Because
Girl.
Brown Eyed Girl is great because it's a very singable tune.
I was looking for Tupelo Honey, and you give me Brown Eyed
No.
Girl.
Yeah,
Nice.
sorry, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's that'll bring a
I'm
room
having
down.
fun. Yeah, no kidding.
It's the best song to start a show with because it's mid-tempo. It's not too much. It's not too little.
Everybody
See, I would,
knows
I
it.
would, I would say "Fly Me to the Moon's a great one. To
great
start with,
one to start with
right?
as well.
Kind
Absolutely.
of gets you going.
Are you taking notes on?
Zig
No,
and
I don't.
zag, up and down. He knows.
I
He's
think always something there to remind me would be a good one. So
I like that song. That's a good song.
Yeah, I mean, just start off with that. You're going to get my juices flowing. You're going to get me excited. I'm going to be looking forward. I'm like, this guy doesn't just know all the pop. He's not just starting out with Brown Eyed Girl.
Right.
He's starting out with something that is popular enough, but also not the
So
cliche
Take
song.
On Me is what you're asking for.
Yeah, I don't need any aha, but
I
Well,
do
you
like
know,
Aha.
I have done this before where I start with Brown Eyed Girl and nobody wants that.
Nobody
So
vibes.
you immediately move off
Absolutely.
that
like I
whole-
won't even finish the song.
So will you? So will
Dun,
you?
dun,
When
dun.
you do
Yeah.
that, do you get off that whole genre or that era?
We'll just find out. We'll just try something else.
got
You
it.
know, like
Got it.
if I find that you guys aren't jiving with that and you don't want to participate, which Brown Eyed Girl is also the best song because it's very participatory.
Yeah.
Do you remember
So,
when we
yeah.
used to sing sha
Sweet
la la la
Caroline.
la?
Yeah.
You know, so like
Yeah.
the sha-la-las, that gets you guys going. And if nobody's digging that,
No heads are moving.
I will do that one time. If nobody's moving
And
and
you're done.
everyone's like, what is this guy doing? I will get out of that and
I
go
like it.
to a Frank. I'll back up
Yeah.
and then we'll see where we are in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
okay. Well, I like it.
Anyway,
So
that's the discipline.
How does you know, I used to be in the music industry and things were different then. It was a long time ago. How does a artist make money today? Because you know, there's obviously the fees you get from shows, but are there other sources of revenue for you at your level today?
No, not for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe for other people, but
Have you thought about, as you know, you're going to crush 2026, you've got all these plans, have you thought about strategically about like, I need to open up streaming revenue, I need to find out how to get some action on Spotify, or is that so far out of reach for you right now that it's not even a priority?
no, diversifying the means of income has been, you know, definitely on my radar because I think any business that has longevity has a variety of sources of income.
And from the artists that you've been exposed to, and I'm sure you have some friends that are ahead of you in their careers, do you know, what are you, how are people making money today? Like, what's some of the
Well,
key points
It
of
depends
making
on
money?
what you're selling, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, think about some of the artists that, I mean, do you have any artists that are like in your mind that are like, you know, say 5 years
the
ahead of you?
waypoint.
Yeah, they're not the big stars, but
Mhm.
they're 5 years ahead of you or
Absolutely.
something like that. That you're like, hey, my buddy, you know, Craig, who is an artist as well.
Yeah.
What are you seeing that you want to achieve that some of those folks are doing?
Well, I've been actually looking at one particular guy because, or two particular guys. One is a guy named Mayor Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Do you know who that
Tuxedo.
is? Oh,
Yeah.
I love that guy.
That Girl's one of my favorite songs.
Mhm. So he's a Detroit guy. He's a Detroit artist, and I've been a big fan of him for years. When I first heard the song, "You can walk those high heels, baby, right out of my life,"
So-
and I was like, "Whoa,
But, yeah.
Good
whoa,
lyric, too.
That is Motown. That is really good. I want to know more about this guy." I found out that's like 2014 or something like that,
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah.
2009. I don't know, but like what? You know, thankfully, like I complain all the time about new music. I love the old Motown, and to hear somebody doing that, and then I dove deeper into his catalog, found he does. That's all he
So
does.
much,
That's all he
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Is that
That style.
classic Motown
Yeah.
four tops sound, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. So I looked him up, and I was like, okay. So I listened to him for years, and then now that but like for the last 5 years, I've been taking it really seriously with original music. How can I make this commercially viable, right? Could I possibly one day transition out of doing cover shows, do this? I looked to him
Yeah.
and saw, okay, he has numbers that aren't so astronomically high that, you know, I can't find a bridge between where I am and where he is. So I've tried to study that bridge. And then the other guy is Alan Stone, who I think is another standard deviation or order of magnitude farther ahead than Mayor Hawthorne is.
Yeah.
Because somebody like Alan Stone has like 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Somebody like Mayor Hawthorne may have 100,000
Yeah.
monthly listeners.
Yeah.
So I have like 400.
Good for you.
That's
Right.
good.
So you see where the orders of magnitude
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of go there.
That-
So I've studied that and tried to figure out how those go forward. So yes, absolutely, I've been studying
Yeah.
like
And-
crazy.
And do you ever catch wind of like some innovative ways that artists are making a living that is kind of non-traditional? And the reason why I bring that up is because when I was in the music business, most of our money was just getting paid for playing a show.
Right.
And then second to that was selling merch.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that was a big dent. It was almost like it was probably 20% of our income was selling merch. And then as digital came around, we started to see more stuff come out, like methods to make revenue come out. But one of the things I started doing is I started pursuing endorsement deals, which is not really heard of at the small time level.
Right.
Certainly big time artists and athletes and actors are endorsing products all the time, but on the lower level, it's a little bit unconventional. And that was one angle I was pursuing. So I'm just curious if you've run into anything that you think is kind of an innovative way of pushing the revenue up.
Yeah. So basically, as I create this product, that's a brand new product, that I'm going to try to sell, which is the Matt Soverns brand.
Mm-hmm.
There are many things to take into consideration. I took a drink of this bourbon, and now my voice is like 10 years more mature.
Yeah, it says
Yeah,
you got a
I
little
like
bass
it.
in your
I can
chest.
feel the
Oh,
heat
yeah.
coming off your breath right now. Yeah.
So, the product is, I would say you are pretty square on the nose there as far as the main product is either producing a show and then selling the tickets and then
Mhm.
taking all of the ticket revenue on that,
Yeah.
or charging a fee to a venue or a booker or whatever, and then that's our guarantee.
Yeah.
Matt,
called
do
a
you
guarantee.
find more joy in creating the business model or playing the music? But one's got to be more top heavy than the other. They can't be 50-50.
It's playing the music.
yeah.
If I could, I would not do the business at all.
Yeah.
But you have to get the music out
So
there.
Absolutely, because nobody else is going to
Let
do
me
it.
dig in on that. So if you could make, let's say, we're just going to use easy numbers. Let's say that a good living, nice, healthy living is $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're making more than that, I'm sure. But let's say that your music generates $1 million for a company, and that company is Matt Sovereign's brand, right?
Mhm.
Sovereign music.
Soverns, actually, there's two of them. So plural. So that
I didn't
million-
write it.
that $1 million, 900,000 of it goes to all the people that do the business side,
Right, the overhead.
and then that 100,000 goes to you. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe we should go into business.
Is
together.
Is that because-
Will you sign something? That's
Matt,
it?
is that because that's the model as you know it, whereas other artists have tried to break that model, like Prince as an example, that
Yeah.
said, hey, no more. Like, I want to own my own IP.
Well, at a certain point, a record company is just a capital investment firm
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
disguise, So like, just think about it like any business, like
Mhm.
a shoe store, like, you have to spend an enormous amount of overhead just to get the wheels off the ground.
Yeah.
And then you spend a couple years recouping that.
Mhm.
And then if you did everything right, then
You can keep going.
you
That
can keep
second
going if you
album
want
hits.
And yet
Yeah.
there are those artists that put something out on YouTube, they get a cult following, and the next thing you know, they're the next fill in the blank, right?
to. But
They're
for
the
every one of
unicorn.
those,
They're the unicorn, though.
for
right?
every one of those, there's
A million.
80,000 dudes and gals who did the exact same thing, were just as diligent or whatever,
Yeah.
and they did the TikTok trend or whatever, and it never panned
Right.
out. And
Yeah.
they're selling shoes.
Did you ever watch the movie about Spotify and how it started and the artists and the contract? Did you
No.
watch that, Daniel?
I haven't seen it.
It's really good. Highly recommend it.
Well, I wanted
It
to
talks
ask
about the
a-
artists. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, so you
Go ahead.
to answer that, like I'm not willing or interested in just like just like hoping and praying.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm
what I
not
was
gonna.
driving at.
I'm
Yeah.
mitigating risk everywhere I can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
So thinking about Spotify as, and of course, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever else is out there. CD Baby is a nice little distribution tool out there for independent artists. Like nobody makes money on Spotify until you're in this top
Correct.
tiny little percent.
Yep.
Right. So
Even those guys, that's not their main source of
Right.
income.
right. So there's 1,500 artists that pass into the million mark, and out of huge numbers that Spotify is paying out to artists, and of course
Unless you're
generating on their own.
Taylor Swift, of course, because she gets everything.
Well, yeah, Taylor
Well,
Swift, but
she's
you know,
one of those 1,500.
Yeah,
those
well, she's
1,500
the
people-
top on Spotify. So she,
well, those 1,500 people, just as a side note, don't lose track of what you were thinking. But
Please.
those 1,500 people, someone in their management team or someone at their label has had a long
conversation
with Spotify and has
Yeah.
negotiated a different
it's
arrangement.
It's
Yeah.
in the movie, by the
Yeah.
way.
They don't have my arrangement.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
Yeah.
in the movie.
that's 100%
pretty
the
wild.
case. And Spotify can, gaslight all they want about that, but that's not the case.
Well, do you think that that's fair to artists, or is that just the way the business works, or is that unfair? Because you were talking a minute ago about, if my brand can make $1 million and I only take 10% of that, I'm fine with that, because that's how the capital, investment
Right.
plan works.
Well, that is
Such a great
a
question.
very deep question.
In other words, we're
because-
asking, where would you sell your soul? I mean, that's
Right.
essentially what we're asking.
No,
right?
and-
it's not if, it's how much.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
What's
we're
the
asking.
price,
Yeah,
baby?
that's what we're asking.
We all
yeah.
know what we are.
Like if Spotify got you out, so the easy answer is, hey man, Spotify gets me out there, yeah, whatever. But now I'm out there. And then in hindsight, you look back and go, shit, I'm not making any money on that.
No.
And then
Well-
you get pissed because I'm not making any money on it.
Well, that's if do you believe in the free market economy, or do you want,
I'm
or
open
do
to
you
it.
want a socialist situation where people have to be forced to give you what you're due or whatever for
Right.
your efforts,
the
Blah.
fruit of their labor.
for your efforts or whatever.
Yeah, I'm
No, it's
open to
like-
discussion.
It's like for me, I'm a capitalist, so if it's unregulated and somebody at Spotify 15 years ago got really smart,
Yeah.
and they just got really 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 smart,
Yeah.
and they knew that there was a hole that they could sneak through, and they snuck through it, and they're still sneaking through it.
Oh yeah.
Even though Congress can make all the special committees they want and make all these bills and everything, and that guy snuck through that hole all those years ago and created a phenomenon
yeah.
that completely destroyed radio
Mhm.
and all these traditional sources of consumption.
I think
Obviously there's Napster and all that stuff before them, but I'm speaking to the broader concept that basically, okay,
You're saying it's fair game.
it's fair game, like if I want to make it, I'm going to need to be just as smart or smarter than that guy.
Yeah.
Right? And if not, you're selling shoes.
Mhm.
Don't play the game.
If
Get
you're
a
not,
job.
then wait
Yeah.
tables, bud,
Yeah.
or play cover shows like I do.
I like
right?
your selling shoes analogy there,
Yeah.
because when I
Do
was
something else.
when I was in the music business, people would always talk about, artists were this special kind of person, right? And they are all when somebody took off, all of their colleagues would say they sold out, right?
Yeah.
And
Nickelback.
my response was, like Nickelback
Yeah,
type.
I just
you know.
watched an interview with them. Go on.
But my response to those people is, well, you're doing fucking construction,
Yeah.
and your buddy
Yeah.
is
Which is a good trade.
right, or even like for you, you're doing cover music.
Right.
I don't think that's selling out. I think that is the same thing as a day job, except for it is in line with your art, right?
you're
Even
working-
if it's not your product, it is in line with your art in
Absolutely.
a lot of ways.
I felt
Man.
that way this whole time.
You're working towards your dream, right?
Oh yeah, and the fact that I'm doing that instead of selling shoes
Yeah.
has helped me immensely as I go forward into next year. Every year,
Okay, so let's talk about what success looks like. So
Not this.
I mean,
Not today.
he
Not today.
seems like he's doing pretty well to me.
I think so.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself successful now, or would you consider yourself, approaching success, or where do you put yourself on the map right now?
No, I would not consider myself successful at this moment.
Family, friends, would they consider you successful right now?
I would say so.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't know the events that have transpired in the last year. It's been a rocky road this year.
Yeah.
There's been some real highs. There's been some real lows.
Anything you want to share?
I would say that I'm proud of what I've done this year. I feel like circumstances beyond my control were at play. I think that, and they were those circumstances were what brought me to the highs as well, not just the lows.
Yeah.
But trying to build this business as I go forward is an effort to take more control of the reins of this whole thing, which is, I understand, at a certain point impossible to do, especially as you grow as a business, because as you expand in any marketplace, more factors, become to play every order of magnitude that you go up, that are out of your control completely.
Has anything,
as far as economics goes,
has anything happened this year that has nearly made you lose faith in the music pursuits or yourself?
Well, something happened this year that completely shattered my faith in cover shows.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm just done with them. If I'll be honest, I don't think, if I could, which I will, I would never play another cover show ever again in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why is that?
Because I have wanted to do this for way too long. I have wanted to become an original artist and really make this business work for 8 years, and I am ready.
Breaking point.
I am at the breaking point.
Yeah.
And I ascended to the highest mountaintop of what I consider to be the cover shows. I was doing a gig that I was so absolutely honored to do. I was so happy, and I was just starting it too. And I was cut down because of factors out of my control.
Wow.
And
what does cut down mean?
Fired.
Okay.
Just terminated.
Yeah.
Without
no
cause?
Apology, with cause.
Okay.
And it's a arguably just cause, but cause nonetheless.
Yeah, sure.
Fired nonetheless.
Sure.
And I I was fully ready to completely invest in this opportunity, and I just, things out of my control just ended it, and I just said, you know what?
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but fuck this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a message from the universe to move on.
Swim downstream.
It is time to go.
Yep.
It is time to go.
As you sit here and share this with us, I have this image of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, my parents binge watched that
I
entire
did
thing.
too, but she was a stand-up comedian back in the day, the 50s.
Yes,
like we're talking
hard
about,
time
right?
to be a female stand-up comedian.
And Lenny was the guy,
Yeah.
and she tried to find. She did her version of covers, right? Other
Right.
comedians' jokes, and somewhere in the middle, she found her breaking point, right? And I know this is fictional, and you're not.
Well,
but there is an element of
I'm not.
artists that you have to find that breaking point. You're not fictional. You're not real.
We don't.
Yeah.
I'm
None
still
of this
trying to
is
figure it
real,
out.
Michael. We can.
No,
talk
I
about
was
it.
saying that's fictional, as in
Right,
the
yeah.
marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You're not. Your trials and tribulations are real. I think most artists have to go through that. I think, by the way, anyone that has success in life, Matt, goes through that.
Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
do. Every one of us do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, success is.
It's not an easy road.
There goes that 12-year-old again.
Yeah,
I
there
know.
it goes.
But that path
More
to
bourbon.
success is paved with failure.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna do a Kids Bop concert tonight.
Yeah, failure. Success only comes after a myriad of failures.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth.
The you're in a business that is a long shot from the get-go, and the fact that you've made it for, is it 12 years or 11 years?
Yeah, to 11, 12.
Yeah, I'll say 11, 12, 11 hyphenate 12.
Yeah.
The fact that you've made it for as long as you have, being
pretty
able to sustain yourself financially, despite that, sometimes it's with maybe borrowing a little cash here or whatever it comes with that. The fact that you've been able to do that is unusual, and you're still in a place where it's a long shot, even from here. So why bother doing this kind of work when a good job is staring you in the face?
Good question.
Well, that is a complex answer. So, first, to answer that, my late teens and early 20s will shed a lot of light on that. I worked a lot of dead-end jobs, a lot of low-end jobs, Amazon warehouse fulfillment, waiting tables, fast food restaurants. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I hated the corporate culture. I hated the, just meaningless kind of thing. I worked at 2 Chick-fil-A's. I even went to Disney World, and I wanted to be
Cast member,
an actor. And I was like, well, in the meantime, let me just be here so I can be auditioning.
Yeah,
But I'm going to get another job. And I was doing merchandise
Oh man,
on Disney property for the Disney company in the largest Disney store. So it was a nightmare. So, and I was terminated from that job too. That was a dark day too.
And so
because I underperformed. I was not.
And that's classic musician. But your family, and of course I know.
Oh right, I
your
see
parents,
where you're going with that.
Your family, they're all engineers.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how many brothers. I think you have 2 brothers. Is that right? Or do you have any?
3 brothers? 3 brothers.
Three brothers. And most of the family has gone down the path of engineering.
That's
right.
correct.
Followed in your parents' footsteps.
Grandpa was an engineer. Mom, dad,
exactly.
all 3 brothers
and,
engineers.
And there's high demand for that, right? So there's a lot of money to be made when you're, in a class of professional that, businesses need that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you said, fuck this. I'm not gonna, do engineering. Well, I mean, tell me more about that decision process. Did you get pressure from the family?
Well, to go even further back, as a very young child, I hated school in every respect. I was very, very adamantly against school. I went to a private Catholic school, and I was the worst behaved kid in all of the class, in all of the school. I went to the principal's office. Before I was expelled halfway through 3rd grade, I counted. I went to the principal's office, and I had a particularly impatient 3rd grade teacher who sent me to the principal's office 10 times in one day.
10 times in one day?
In one day.
There's only 7 hours of school.
Right. So I didn't really spend much time. And guess what? I wasn't learning.
Well, of course not.
I certainly wasn't learning. So there are still holes.
Yeah.
Like I can't write in cursive. They taught cursive.
By the way,
You
you're
really
not
can't
going to
write-
need that.
Yeah,
I know, but
they don't even teach it now.
like there were certain things that were I was horribly behind. Like I was getting D's and F's and everything.
What?
So I hated school. So to me, the whole concept of school was horrible. Stay away from it. I hated everything to do with it. I hated books. I hated reading. I hated math. I hated history. I hated all of it.
Hate the smell of pencils.
I hated the
it's
thought
terrible.
of. I hated pencils. Like I didn't even want to do any of it. So the only thing that didn't have anything. Of course, I'm a child. I don't know the complexities of society yet.
Right.
So as a child, I'm just like, the only thing I really actually care about is anything that doesn't have to do with the 8 hours that I'm spending in this prison. every year, every day, having to sit still,
Yeah.
which was the worst possible sentence.
How did you find peace with it?
So the first thing that I actually cared about, other than my family, and
Yeah, because they're listening. So go ahead.
right, love you guys, was like Robin Williams in Aladdin,
Yeah.
you know, and Jim Carrey,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
and just I was like, this is so much fun, and all I wanted to do was act. And so my brother started doing children's productions at like 12, and I was like 8, you know, or 9. And so I was like, you know, I saw him be in a show, and I was like, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on a stage. I want to perform.
Thespian.
I want to sing. I want to.
Now, did you always
Jump around.
crave attention? Like a lot of performers often are people that they really get a high out of the attention. And I would almost just pair that with the whole making people happy thing.
Absolutely.
Like that whole desire to make people happy is also a craving of the response you get from them, that attention that you're getting.
Yeah, and let me clarify, you know, I have spent my 20s trying to heal all of this.
Yeah,
So doing a lot of self-examination and trying to heal all of this.
Yeah, well, we forgive you.
To try to do things for the
do,
right
but I don't know
reason.
if the audience does.
But I accept myself as I am now, and I accept that I am who I am, and I did not pursue engineering for certain reasons that may or may not be of the most noble origin.
When did music speak to you?
Well, I mean, obviously, immediately, you know.
Yeah,
like
when did
I'm
you
talking
learn?
Like you're in 3rd grade, you gave us that. Was music part of your life then, or did you find music after that?
Well, I was listening to the radio. I remember, you know, the early morning drives to school, hearing the radio stations, Q95, and Mom listened to like Creed and Christian Switchfoot and all that stuff. So I was hearing all of this stuff, and you know, it resonated with me, I think, but it didn't quite stick out until it was like summer, and I can still not put my finger on exactly which summer it was, but it was summer. You know, Mom and Dad are at work. Everybody's bored. I was just foraging in the basement and found the record collection. And I hooked up the Pioneer.
Yeah. Pioneer. I love it.
I hooked up the Pioneer all by myself.
Yeah.
I figured out how to work it.
Yeah.
And I just started playing records.
And do you recall, was there one that spoke to you?
I mean, it was all of them. It was my dad's records.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
it was
I heard
that
the
was when I
Motown.
that was when I heard Billy Joel and Bob
Yeah.
Seger and
Yeah.
Cat Stevens, and then it, you know, the Beatles,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it was the rest is history.
You know,
So-
my dad had, sorry.
No, go ahead,
My
please.
dad had all of the Beatles collection on record, on vinyl.
Whoa.
And then I got a CD player some point in time when it was, when not everybody had a CD player yet. And I had this, I saved up all this money, bought the CD player, and my dad for Christmas got me Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from Elton John.
Yeah.
And a Pink Floyd album, Metal, which I loved that album, but I was just addicted to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, it was.
And
It's great.
and then I since got it on vinyl. I have a you know, it's a reprint, but I have a vinyl of that.
Mhm.
And it is such an amazing album, and I have so many memories. You tie so many of your memories growing up to some of those experiences.
For sure.
You know, music just becomes this thing that we attach all these experiences in our life to, and that album has a lot of.
I made a lot of
my
money on that
background.
feeling.
Yeah, you did.
I want to share something with you, and Matt specifically. I remember when the Super Bowl was here in Indianapolis. We were fortunate enough to have some friends that were corporate sponsors. It doesn't matter with who, but we were able to get to some really unique events, and one of them was Pepsi. And Pepsi had all of their athletes at this little dinner engagement, and it was really intimate. It was less than 200 people. And it was one of the buildings downtown. And so people, you know, there are quarterbacks and running backs and receivers, and they're the who's who of PR, athlete-wise. And we were kind of like, wow, there's so-and-so, and I can't believe this person's standing there. You know who the band was that opened for this little group? One Republic.
Oh my God!
And this is before One Republic was One Republic. Right?
Oh,
I mean,
really?
yeah. So they were getting there, but they weren't there, right? And I'll never forget this. We're there, and there's no one moving to their music. I mean, some of the athletes are in the back just bopping a little bit. My wife is like grooving,
little toe tapping.
Yeah. And the lead singer? What's his name? I just blanked out on his name.
Remember his name.
He makes 2 comments. Pepsi, why did you get rid of that light blue Crush drink? It was the best drink ever. And why are none of you dancing to our music? And he was frustrated. I mean, he was genuinely frustrated.
Sure.
Because he knew.
Because it
in
was a
his heart-
social event too, right?
It was. And he knew
Yeah.
in his heart that, God damn it, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
people, pay attention to me.
You're
you
missing
could-
out on this.
Yeah.
Preaching
and
to
you
the
could feel
choir,
it.
man.
Right. So this is why I share the story with you. One Republic. And they were climbing the scales. And yet,
Yeah.
not
What?
everyone was vibing on
How
it.
do you react to that kind of a situation, Matt? When you're in a, the audience is just stale and not even moving.
It's like, pay attention to me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cover shows. Thank you, Daniel.
Absolutely.
I mean, he had an impossible job, going into that.
God, yeah.
These social events, Indiana Roof Ballroom, these events like this.
And they were a Pepsi.
People aren't there. We call our bands, when we get hired for these types of gigs, we give each other the eye and we go, "You're furniture."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it really doesn't matter what you do as long as it doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to dance anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're really good, and I'm sure I'm getting a slap on the face from some of my colleagues because they're like, "That's not true. You can get those people to dance." And I have gotten those people to dance. And if you exert yourself to a point that is beyond your pay grade, you can get those people to dance.
Of course you can.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to play Sweet Caroline,
Right.
and then Brown Eyed Girl,
And then bring 'em in.
Friends in Low Places,
Yeah.
all in a row. You have to. We call them A songs. You have to play "Living on a Prayer," and you have to rail it. You
Yeah.
know, you
That's
have
a
to
tough one.
You said
completely
A
railroad
songs
A songs
because they're all in the key, or no?
No.
No. They're
As
all
in A-list.
like primo,
Oh, gotcha.
guaranteed to get white people to dance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like "Come on, Eileen." Like this stuff.
Shout.
I thought it was "Come on, Irene." Well,
I don't even
anyway.
know where you're going with that,
know,
and I don't even want to touch that.
if you railroad them, they can go. But if you are One Republic,
Thank you, Aaron.
if you are One Republic and you're doing an original music show and you got hired for that type of gig, my assessment of that is that you shouldn't have taken that gig.
Well, they were sponsored by Pepsi. They were demanded to be there, so they didn't really have
Well,
a choice.
Pepsi
right?
made a mistake because-
well, I think a lot of
and
corporations
I know that's
make
rude of me to
mistakes.
say, and I shouldn't have said that.
No, I
and I
think you're right,
apologize,
though.
but
So Pepsi's not a sponsor. You can
but
say
to the
whatever you
point-
want.
That's right.
because I can't tell you how many gigs I have played where I go, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, that's how
Because
he felt.
Somebody in HR, somebody in the party planning department was like, "How fun would it be to have dueling pianos at our fundraiser?" And it's like you have no idea. Nobody there
Right.
wants this to happen,
Right,
except for you,
Right.
who thought that it would be a good idea.
Well,
but you
I
don't know
don't know.
anything about planning parties.
don't know.
You have an HR degree.
Right.
You don't have an events like
Right,
an
right.
entertainment and hospitality degree, and you don't have the years of experience
I
we have.
can guarantee you, without knowing physically what they said behind the scenes, that what he said in front of us, One Republic, he was annoyed. Like,
Absolutely, and
this is
that's
my
the-
genre. I'm playing to a
Yeah.
bunch of stiffs and a bunch of athletes.
Right.
He wanted to say, "Get the fuck out of here."
I want to challenge that thinking though, because think about it. Like you're in an event where you're getting paid to do what you
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
and everybody there is actually there because there's background music,
Mhm.
and they can hang out with their friends or
That's right.
meet new people or whatever.
That's right.
And so when you go to that fundraiser, everybody loves that there's music, live music, but they don't necessarily want to go to a concert.
Right.
Right. And so the
Right.
performer is thinking, I want this to be a concert because that's where I thrive.
That's
right.
why I perform, right?
But really, the only thing they're hired to do is the best they can in the environment that they're in, right? They're hired to be to be furniture as you described it.
Right.
And the furniture has to look and apparently sound nice. You look great, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude, you look awesome. You should be an actor.
What?
Good furniture.
Oh, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
great furniture.
Yes,
absolutely.
Furnished
Yeah,
well.
there you go.
Well, I learned a phrase recently in my studies of business acumen. It's product market fit,
Product market fit.
and
Well
this
said.
is
I like that
this is the issue here.
Well said.
Is
But
that
you need to wear
you've
boots
got-
and not Nikes.
You've got a band who deserves to be in Lucas Oil Stadium,
Mhm.
right? Or pick your venue, right? Smaller venue, included, like Murat,
Vogue,
right?
Murat,
The Vogue, whatever,
right.
right? But here they are
Yeah.
playing to the wrong crowd
Yes.
in the wrong environment at the
Yes.
wrong time at the wrong event.
For
Yeah.
good
Yes.
money.
And that's why he was pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he
100%.
was pissed
Yeah,
off.
because his manager put him in the wrong room.
So I mean no disrespect. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I mean no disrespect to One Republic when I say that they're at the wrong gig, and I mean no disrespect to that gig
Right.
when I say that that the HR department made a mistake, or whoever did the hiring made a mistake. They hired the wrong type of product.
Yes.
It was the wrong product market fit.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And so that's what I need to focus on going
Yeah.
forward
I
into
think it
2026.
gets mixed up with having influential people in the room, and they want to surround those influential
Right.
people.
They
in
want
the
to
room.
feel,
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah.
They want to have something that feels of
Yeah.
high status.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a big mistake. I
Yeah,
think
it is.
you need to hire somebody like My Yellow Rickshaw. Have you ever heard of this
Yes,
band?
Yes.
Great
Look at
cover
you.
band,
Yeah.
more than equipped. Blue Water Kings, all these wedding bands. Hire those guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those musicians are more than willing and happy
Yeah.
to come and get paid to play Uptown Funk
Yeah.
for you
That's a
Yeah.
great song.
and
too.
crush it. And they're going to murder that song, and they're
Yeah.
going to do amazing, and everyone will be happy, and it's a perfect fit.
Before I forget, what's your take on Slim Shady from the 50s version of that song that's out and about right now? Have you heard that song?
No,
So it's an Eminem Slim Shady, but it's
I know Slim
performed-
Shady, but
Yeah, but it's performed in the 50s genre.
kind of like a postmodern jukebox.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought.
I have
for
not
you-
heard that. I mean, I know
you
they
should
have
listen to it.
lots
probably
and
good.
lots of.
It's really good.
covers.
It's probably good. It is really good.
It's probably good.
Aaron, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
While we've got Matt here, you grew up in the Pacific Northwest, where
Portland?
Yeah, I think
Have
it
I
was-
mentioned
I
that?
think is it Portland? Damn it!
Yeah, yeah.
I always get
Yeah.
I
confused.
couldn't remember if you were from Portland.
I
you
can
know?
never remember.
Yeah.
But you were out there at a particular time when music
Mm.
shifted, on a dime from
Oh,
rock
I
and
had
roll,
so many flannels.
right?
That was awesome.
Mhm.
Did you? So we know the two bands that literally flipped the industry upside down out there. But were you privy to struggling artists like, I don't want to say struggling, but up and coming artists that hadn't made it yet in that scene?
Only as a witness of being fortunate enough to be at these little venues
Yeah.
where Dave Matthews and Ben Fold
Yeah.
saw Soundgarden in what was basically a high school basketball
Wow.
court. Oh, I hurt my neck so bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
They all had to start somewhere, though, right?
Well, and it's
we
just,
forget that.
because of it being a very creative place with very few places to be creative.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was just every night there was
Yeah.
what ended up being a
And-
banger coming around.
My
Yeah.
theory of the reason why places like that have taken off is the concentration of the creativity.
Yeah.
Is what
There's
I've
a big part of that.
Yeah.
And the
then-
relation to Seattle,
Right.
which was a much bigger municipality.
Well, it was a big radio town too.
Mm.
So, but what I imagine made such a huge difference is when one artist took off, then the A&R reps are like, let me see what else is here.
Yeah.
So, but what you don't have today, and at least not in the same way, is A&R reps.
Correct.
So, Matt, nobody's going to discover you in the same way that it might have happened even 10 years ago.
Yeah. I
Just
would agree with
because
that.
streaming and social media based audience building is almost like taking the lead, and the A&R reps are like, let me see what becomes viral
Or-
and sustainable.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And there may be that really small percentage, like less than 1%, where someone happens to hear you or see you, and they're in the industry, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, that's
Mm.
that's
Mhm.
trending right now. Let's go talk.
Yeah.
But that's like the needle in the haystack, right?
And
Right.
that's not happening now, is it?
No,
No.
no. It's almost like what I've learned from a lot of the talent scouts in different creative industries is they are using the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally just let's see
Scouring.
what TikTok produces
Yeah.
for me, and then I'll sign the ones that are basically almost to the point of making it on their own just
Yeah.
before they get there, so I can own their value.
The case in point there is the kid that's singing for Journey, the frontman for Journey right
Yeah.
now from Asia, right? I mean, that kid got discovered on YouTube,
Right.
and all of a
Well, at
sudden
a
he's-
certain point, he's a cover artist.
he is a
He
cover
is.
You
artist.
know?
There's nothing original
So he
coming
didn't do
from
any of
him.
that,
right?
you know?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'd like to ask you a really hard question.
Okay.
You tried to make it in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
You pivoted away from the music
Mhm.
industry. What would your younger self, knowing what you know today, share with Matt as he goes through the struggles that you went through?
Yeah.
What wisdom would you shed or share with him?
So the short version of my music career is that I did make it to making a living. I was in an original band, and one of the band members, our lead singer, at one point quit. And when he quit the band, that shifted our momentum because he was a key part of our brand. And, lead singer, primary songwriter, a big component of the image of the band, so that really changed our ability to sustain that. I didn't build up enough of those secondary income sources. One of the things that I did is I started Redwall, which was, ultimately the ad agency that I built, but it was started as a music, essentially a music promotional company.
Experiential marketing, I recall.
Well, that came by the time I met you. That was the term. So, but that was part of the pivot, right? So, but we didn't do any cover gigs. What we should have done, both maybe me individually, but also just our band, is we should have done more cover gigs just to fill in the gaps, not necessarily to build a repertoire that we, that took over our making a living in our brand. But we should have just been willing to kind of find these other ways to sustain ourselves that weren't exactly what we wanted to do until the original music outgrew it.
Yeah.
And for me as a drummer, I wasn't a front man of a band. So you lose a front man, you got to find a new band or fix the one you got.
You just disassembled the
Arguably,
core.
you're not a musician.
Yeah, you could say that.
Hey now, drummers are amazing.
I played drums. I also was not a musician.
No, drummers are musicians.
I definitely was then and am now, but also I definitely don't think you were.
No.
Oh, okay.
But let's talk about. So I guess to wrap up my answer, my advice is advice I've already given you prior to this conversation, which is be open to those non-traditional ways of making money that are not what you picture, right? Because what you want to do is the longest shot you can
sustain
think of.
it as long as possible.
Yeah, it's a moonshot. Being a sustainable artist and making even just let's call it making it big, but making it big being just like a middle class income life that you can continue. That's a moonshot.
Yeah.
And so be open to other opportunities. But what I want to talk to you about is motivation. Okay. So I guess, a lot of times we think our motivation is something like, I don't know, achievement or money. But if someone were to ask you, Aaron, what motivates you?
Challenge.
The
Alarms.
And
Do not disturb doesn't work.
So just a challenge. What does that mean?
What interests me most is trying to find connections between previously unrelated things. And I know that's a little bit vague, but that has been the most of my adult life has been trying to put unrelated pieces together to create something new. Not inherently new, but combinationally.
Combinationally new. Okay.
That's a word.
I still don't know what you're saying. Seriously.
Yeah.
Dig into that a little bit, please. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. What challenges you?
Well, unsolved problems. One of the things that's helped me make decisions when I don't know what to do, which is a lot of the time. What's the most important thing that needs to be getting done that nobody's doing that I can do? Which is unfortunate because like you're thinking cure cancer up until that last part.
Right. Oh, that I can do.
That I can do.
Yeah, that I can.
And so
right.
that has led to everything from the organizational consulting early on, the marriage and family therapy, starting the float center, starting the marketing.
Yeah.
So how can I put these pieces together to get something going?
Do you feel like you're sufficiently motivated in the work that you're doing today? Or do you feel like it sometimes is, and I don't mean that the opposite is to do work poorly, but are you sufficiently motivated in what you're doing?
Yes, because it is challenging, which makes it interesting, which makes me do good work, which is inherently rewarding.
Yeah.
But that's only part of it because the novelty and the things that I have lined up right now with that AI executive coaching and the new product, like it's a new problem, it's a new product, it's a space that is just starting to form. That's exciting to me.
Okay. What about you, Michael?
I like things that bring me out of my comfort zone. It could be personal or business. So if you were to focus on business, I would say the challenge in business, the business is cruise control, the day-to-day operations. The challenges are how do you stay relevant? How do you grow? How do you find more? All the same thing that you're going through.
Are you motivated by money?
Yes, but that's a tough question for me to answer. If you asked me 10 years ago, I would have said 100%.
Yeah.
Today, I'm more motivated by the challenge of the problem than I am the money, because the money always seems to show up.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about that as much anymore.
Follows.
But I'm really more about, the money does follow. I'm more caught up in the puzzle, trying to get all the pieces to fit. Because when you do that, then everything else kind of follows.
Right.
The clients follow, the money, etc.
So Matt, with you in the music business, I would venture to guess that you're not motivated by money, but that they're
No, that's not
that's
true
a
at
hard
all.
look. No.
That's not true at all, actually. Right now,
Totally motivated by the
It's
cash.
totally sex and money.
I love it.
no, it's not the resplendence of the money. It's not the toys. It's not the G-Wagon. It's being able to live.
Yeah.
That's what motivates me. Like that's why I care about money.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to use the money as the game, right? But I have to reconcile those two things, which the other thing is the joy, which I will not surrender under any circumstance. I refuse to live a life of servitude to an economy, right? But
Hold on.
I have to
Back
survive in that economy.
Back up. Go back to that, because I want to unpack that a little bit. Give me that again. The piece that you said you're not willing to live in servitude
Of an economy like that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that most people live in a state of, suffering for their paycheck, or they live in a state of personal sacrifice, or
So they're doing the job, but it's not something they want or are passionate about. They're just
and
doing
some
it because
people
they
get
have
so
to.
obsessed with getting rich. A lot of young people, they get so obsessed with this Jordan Belfort, type of thing. They're willing to lie, cheat, and steal and sacrifice all of their character to pursue, financial, goal. And some of them achieve it, and then they have no soul.
Got it. Thank you for explaining.
Yeah,
I
so
get what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
willing to do any of those things, but I still have to make money.
Right.
But I will. The thing of most paramount is that I feel like I can sleep at night.
Yeah, staying true to yourself.
So besides sleeping at night, I also think that people will not just sell their soul in a sense of the way that you're describing, but also just give up their time, an enormous amount of time. So you think of, a job at a minimum costs you 40 hours a week, but that's if you're not counting any kind of drive time, if you're not counting the stress of thinking, laying awake at night, thinking I'm going to have to do this, and this tomorrow. And most jobs actually demand more hours of you to begin with.
And they put that lunch break. That's your time, that hour that takes you 45 minutes to leave the property.
Unpaid.
Can I ask? Let me jump on that real quick, Daniel. I'm curious, Matt. We're going to keep you out of this just for a second because I don't think you can answer it the way that's going to be asked.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah.
Have either of you felt like you have worked a job or been in a job where you've never felt like you're working at the job, but you're giving it way more than what it deserves? Meaning, it's more than 40 hours.
Right? It doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work, and you don't feel like work. So have either of you experienced that?
Sure. Yeah. I think that most, maybe not all, but most of my jobs, I've felt that way at periods of times.
I've known you at some of those
and
periods.
Then some of those times it's been a
struggle.
As a business owner, more of that time has been happiness and not feeling like I'm working.
Yep.
But I would say that one of the things that I think about is like there's work that has a means to an end, that the journey itself or the aim is what makes you feel fulfillment. And I can relate back to when I was in the music business. Before I was able to go full time, I was actually working a job that I absolutely hated, that I took so that I had the flexibility to play music.
Yeah.
So I left my white collar job to wash windows at just retail shops and warehouses and stuff like that. So I'm washing windows. I'm doing something that is not, glorified in any way. And I didn't get to dress the way I wanted to dress. I didn't get to, I just felt dirty and all this stuff. And I was completely satisfied if I had a show on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, you were content with that.
Yeah, so the whole week I'm working my ass off, not really enjoying work, not feeling ambitious about doing better or anything like that. And I looked forward to the weekend when I had a show or two.
That was the carrot, right?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Weekend gig. Yeah.
And then the day that, our band broke up and I was like,
oh, shit.
I'm not sure I have something to live for now. Then, or, look forward to.
Yeah.
That work suddenly became a tremendous toil.
Yeah.
Like just instantly the next Monday was like, does this work even matter?
Hang on, Matt. We're going to get there. Hold on one second. Because I'm going to tie into Aaron, you?
I haven't had a job since 1998.
That a boy.
I
really do believe you when you say that.
No, it's true. I haven't. There's one exception. I was a dance instructor in 2002.
Nice.
And I'm not sure if I was an employee or a contractor or what, but I was doing it.
Yeah,
because
he used to be gay, by the way.
Is that so?
I used to be what?
I said Aaron used to be gay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to it, but I'm
I don't think I've ever met somebody who
Matt's
transitioned
pretty
back.
handsome and he probably smells nice.
He does.
I don't think I've ever met anyone who went back into the closet.
I bet you have.
I bet you have too.
Yeah, so I haven't had a job since the 90s. I've never done anything that I didn't want to do because of what I would have to become in order to do it well. So to Daniel's point with business and clients and stuff, I've definitely...
But there's an interesting piece to you right now, because
yeah?
you've shared this on the podcast, the juxtaposition of not having feel like you've worked, but you're chasing a number too. You've shared with our audience that there's this desire to get to this financial number to make sure everyone's taken care of.
Oh, yeah, because it's the only thing on the everything I want in my life checklist that isn't checked.
Right.
Because as soon as I switched it to what I have...
It changed everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, it changed everything, and immediately I stopped looking at it.
Yeah.
Now there's no motivation.
Right. Now you can chime
Well,
in.
the money thing is kind of like that last square on the Rubik's Cube, because there's always that last square on the Rubik's Cube, because it's really easy to figure out most of the squares. But that last square,
Well said.
you're going to have to take the whole goddamn thing apart.
Yeah, so first of all, take all
so
the
true.
stickers
to
off.
get that last fucking square to
right.
to be there.
Right. No, it's
You
a
know?
good point. It's
Yeah.
a really good point.
You have to take it all down, and that,
or you have to be content.
or you have to be content, right? There's a cognitive dissonance, and you just have to to like decide at some point, am I cool with this, or am I going to take it all down here,
Which is what
so
Daniel
that
was
we can
talking
get that
about.
last damn thing done
Right.
before we hit retirement or whatever. But
right.
you know, and so there's that, because for me, like, you know, I could just say, like, in a certain way, I am satisfied. Like, I think that it's not totally fair to say, like, I'm not happy with who I am. Like, this is incredible.
You're
You're
satisfied with
discontent.
where you
Yeah,
are,
like-
but you're
like a-
motivated to move forward.
Well, you know, like on a Maslow's hierarchy of needs way, you know, like I'm awesome. Like, I'm healthy. I'm in great shape.
Top 1% if you're here.
Top
on this
1%,
You can
podcast.
right.
sing and hold a
Like-
tune. Come on.
I can sing and hold a tune. I get the incredible honor, like I said, to play for Riley Nurses and do this a wonderful thing. Like, I
And
get
surgeons.
to contribute to society in that way. But you know, I'm just striving for self-actualization.
Yeah.
You know, I
So-
just want
so
to
how do you-
self-actualize.
It's that last square.
It's
how-
that last damn square, and I have to take it all down to do it.
Tell me about the last square. How do you stay motivated for the next step? What's coming next? How do you stay motivated to keep your eye on it?
Well, that's kind of a weird question, because I don't really even think about that. I just am. I am. I just want it. I just want it.
That's
Okay.
a good answer.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make us happy. I want you to do a little tune for
Oh,
us.
all right.
Original?
Yes, I would.
Yes,
Original.
please.
I'm going to let him decide. Which
Are you gonna let him?
I have a sense of what he's going to.
While Matt's tuning up that piano, I think it's really important to know that we all wake up at some point in time in our life where you wake up and you lose whatever it is that got you out of bed every morning. So as a kid, as an athlete, I went to bed every night getting excited to get up to go practice or perform in the game or whatever it was, right? Matt's, Daniel singing music.
It wasn't work. It was an opportunity
That's
to
right.
grow.
And then suddenly that goes away. And Daniel talked about it with music going away. You've got to find another piece to get you out of bed in the morning.
This guy has to perform no
Yeah,
matter what.
Yeah.
Everything else
100%.
is a distraction.
Yeah. I would agree. And with that,
This one is called. This is unreleased. This is a song that I just have. I've literally stayed up till 7 a.m. this morning in the recording studio working on this tune. So this one is. I do feel resonates with this scenario and the questions that you've asked today. But it's called Remember. How's it going? Are you doing fine? Come and sit down. Let's just talk a while and remember. Take some time with me. Yeah, we're growing as the years go by, and we fall off of the course sometimes, but that's okay. We'll start all over again. And I know that you enjoy the ride, take the long way round a couple times, but if you feel that hopelessness slipping in, you just remember the way we used to be when we were young, and every song was young and wild and free. You just remember, 'cause like a drop into the sea, today is gone. Just a memory. Even if my memory goes south and I put my foot dragged out man of the blues. I will still know good love is true. Even if I disappear from view, I will be there in your heart, reminding you gotta remember the way we used to be, hanging out and singing songs, contented just to be. You must remember, 'cause like a drop into the sea, today is gone, just a memory. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
That was great.
Beautiful.
man.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
I have a glass and a half of bourbon in me, so
I can tell.
forgot a word or
It's
two.
beautiful. No, it's really good.
That was
really,
amazing.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
that's a bit of an abbreviated version, but
I
I like
am
it.
very happy for you that you have set a boundary on what you will do, because I think so much in your life is a distraction from your art.
yeah, actually, in all of the discussion we were having, I wanted to say something, and I'm glad you said that because it reminded me. Is I do feel I'm at a burning of the ships moment.
Yeah.
Right, because when and I love your advice, Daniel, thank you, and I feel like I'm at a bit of the opposite problem. Is I've taken so many cover gigs, and I'm close enough to what I want to do by doing cover gigs that all these years I've been kind of satisfied by those gigs, and I haven't felt a sense of urgency getting to the original music and making that viable. So I've kind of like let it go. Like, and also my voice gets fatigued. I'm working Fridays and Saturday nights. Like, so it's interfering with it's at this point where it's interfering with the pursuit of the original music. So yeah, at a certain point, I'm feeling like at this moment I need to burn some ships and say, let's stop doing any crutch that you have, knock it out and fall down, force myself to fall down and hold this newborn calf up. And I'm feeling that pressure right now.
That makes so much sense, because when you talked about your opposition to cover gigs, it wasn't contempt, and I couldn't understand. It was because you only have so much to give, and you want to give all of that to your music.
Yeah.
And
That's beautiful.
I want to ask you about, as we wrap this up, what do you have to say to the people that everybody that's listening to this, which is a lot of people, are taking some kind of risk in their life? I think that we all do to some degree, but some of us take these very mellow risks. Like, it's like, if I go ask for a raise, I might get one. If I, apply for this job that I'm slightly underqualified for, maybe I might get it. But then there are people that are taking these risks where they're actually burning ships, like you're talking about. What do you have to say to the people that are listening, that are thinking about the risks that they take in their life, whether they're in the music business or, accounting? The risks that people take are, ultimately a big decision, but also, you can always make the safe decision. So what do you have to say to those people?
Well, the choice comes with, it's always a double-edged sword. So, if you want to make that compromise and take the easy job, it may pay well, but you're going to have that you're going to have to reconcile with the feeling inside you that you wanted to do that crazy thing and you never did. And that's fine. And I would hope that the people who make that choice can live with that decision.
Yeah.
But I can't live with that decision. So what the double-edged sword of the road less taken Thank you, Robert Frost. But the double-edged sword of that road less taken is that you have to work a million times harder now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to,
Mm-hmm.
or you're not going to, being a maverick is extremely labor intensive,
Yeah.
and it's extremely taxing on every part of your mind and your soul.
Yeah. And I will say that I think that you're absolutely right, but I also see stats that say that they're now with so many ways that we have to create our own path because of the tools of the internet. Applying it to the music industry, you have direct to audience avenues right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stats show that triple the number of artists are actually breaking into the making a living category versus
That's
what
wonderful.
it was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, you just have to be on top of it,
But I don't doubt that you're absolutely right. You have to work your tail off.
Yeah, like Mark Cuban, I think, is a good quote here, is like, just work as if there are 10 people working every day, all hours of the day, to take it all away from you.
Yeah.
Because
there are
every new technology,
Yeah.
every new platform, every new opportunity that
Yeah.
comes along,
yeah.
they're like, that's an opportunity for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also an opportunity to anyone who has access to it.
Yep.
So, and there are a lot of people.
Yep.
So there's somebody out there who's doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're on a much smaller podcast, but I'm sure that
no,
they're
and I
doing
know, but like, so like, here I am, I stayed up till 7 a.m. in the studio because I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be the guy who's working harder than those other 10 people.
I would.
Right? Let's work harder than them.
I would like.
Frantic.
I'd like to close out with a thought, which I think is very apropos for what you're saying,
Sure.
which is life is short. There are no do-overs. Give it everything you've got now. If you don't risk it now, you don't get to risk it later.
Sure.
So
You won't.
life is short.
Mhm.
There are no do-overs.
Good
Make it
advice.
count.
Yeah. Bill Murray said, I think he was quoting somebody when he said, this is not a rehearsal.
It's not.
This is your life.
It is.
And I listened to that video.
It's
It was
the
a
truth,
Charlie
man.
Rose interview. He was
Yeah.
interviewed by Charlie Rose, but
It's so
Bill
true.
Murray just said that, and he was like, I just want to see how much I can be here
That's right.
right now. So I do try to do that. I'm a very Taoist kind of guy, and
You can
as well.
tell.
So
When you throw out the universe, I knew. So
oh
good
yeah,
on you.
no, I'm like big into Ram Dass.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
all this.
That was
fun
good stuff.
All
Very
right.
cool.
Thanks. Good advice. Thanks for the tunes today, and thanks for being here.
Thank you,
Yeah, thanks,
everybody.
man.
This has been a
Thanks.
true honor. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. It's great having you. Thank you.
So long.
Cheers.